Morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here. No, I'm not so much eager to get to my presentation, but just to stop Grace from talking too much about me. Anyway, I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very privileged. Okay, I mean, I used to be on the computer vendors side, and it is in those days, if Grace Cheng wants to write an article about you or your company, it's like winning a Nobel Prize. So I'm okay, but the thing also is that, like CDE Kung was saying, we're told to keep this simple because this is a Friday morning. It's been raining, so those who are not here can't be on the golf course, and they're probably sleeping. Okay, but the point is that also, before I talk a bit more, I realized that the opening remarks by Grace and by CDE Kung has effectively obsolescized a lot of the things I'm going to say this morning. So let me talk a bit about the background of, okay, so it's a Friday morning. It's Friday 13, by the way. Why are we here? Shouldn't we be on the golf course or in bed? Don't we have better things to do? Yes, the point is this, ladies and gentlemen, the reason we're here listening to these things is because cybersecurity is a journey. This slide I have was made about 15 years ago. And I'll be using it again and again because it gets longer. There are more things to add to it. New risks, because every time we have a new service, a new functionality, digital this and digital that, and mobile this and mobile that, and cloud this and cloud that, there are new risks, new vulnerabilities, new issues. The point we're trying to make is why are we here this morning is because hackers always like. There are a few points I'm going to make this morning. Number one, and I'll leave the rest of the day to the real content providers. Number one, hackers are always looking for something new to attack. Anything new, let's attack. Anything new, let's hack. Let's try. They may not succeed. They may not be getting something, but let's try anyway. That's the nature. In Malaysia or in the Malay language, there's something that says, ada lobang hantam. Okay, and it gets more and worse. So hackers always try to break anything new. So we have always a lot of things to worry about. Okay, every time there's a new functionality, we need to about it. And Grace told me also to focus on a few perspectives and trends this morning, specifically phishing, ransomware, and attack on supply chains. But there's a lot more. Okay, I'm not going to go through all of them, but if you ask any other 5 cybersecurity experts or practitioners, they will have their own list. You can ask, the various Gartner and Frost and IDC, and they'll have their own list of what are the perspective and things to look out for today. But some of the more salient and common threats, I'll start with the bottom, so we'll talk about the top 3 later. Denial of service, that doesn't affect us a lot, but it's becoming a bit more often today, and it affects a lot to do with service providers and all that, and we're happy to know that IMDA and CSA are doing a lot of things to help protect our nation from these things. Then the other one is software application attacks. Now again, there's not a lot we can do about this because we are the users of software. But again, I'm happy that our government has become more aware of software application issues in the past few years, and it's getting better. And the problem is because there's more and more software, cloud, mobile, and so on, IoT. Everything is actually software. We only look at the hardware. We don't see the software. And then there's this thing called software-defined networks, software-defined whatever. I get very frightened because the word is software. And there's a lot of problems with software. I'll come to that. And then we come on to the things we want to talk about, phishing, ransomware, attack on supply chains. Other things that are issues today is hacktivism. Now, what is the problem with hacktivism? The problem with hacktivism is that they are not hackers trying to steal your data or steal your money. They're just trying to make trouble. And a lot of them are not professionals. The good news, no, it's not good news. Okay, let me put it this way. Good news, 99% of targets are not targeted. That's not good news. Why? Because it means the rest are a bunch of kids trying, or non-professionals, hackers trying anywhere. Anyway, they may create damage that they don't even know. And it is hacktivism. They want to make a point. And hacktivism has actually destroyed a couple of companies. Very quickly, one of which is this company called, in Canada, what was it? The one where men can go and look for mistresses and girlfriends, And then there was a rumor that a bunch of wives got together, hired the hackers to take down that and destroy. The company is gone. There was another Italian company which sold spy software to governments. And some people, again, exposed, hacked them, and these companies are gone. So hacktivism. Of course, cloud security. There's more and more cloud. There's more and more security issues. IoT, smart devices. What's the problem with smart devices? The problem is that as smart devices proliferate, we get things we can buy on the internet from Taobao and from QO10. You can buy a camera for $80. How much security is there? I'm not saying it is wrong. I'm saying that how you set it up. And my presentation has a lot less to do with the technology and the technical issues than the background of why are we having to be concerned. Let's start with cybersecurity mantra. There are a few mantras I'll talk about. First of all, CIA. We all should know this, and the trouble is a lot of us forgot already because we learned this 20 years ago. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. But when we talk about security, a lot of us focus on the C, the confidentiality, privacy, data, protection, all that kind of thing. What about the A? That's where ransomware comes in. That's where DDoS comes in. That's where outages come in, where basically A is a legitimate part of cybersecurity. That's why these things like business continuity, disaster recovery, and all that. The next mantra is PPT, not PowerPoint, but people, process, technology. And again, the whole focus is on the technology. Technology, it's a technology thing, it's a technical thing, it's an engineering thing. No, it has to do with people and processes. The best technology in the world cannot help you if you don't configure properly, you don't install properly, you don't update properly, things like that. And of course, there's some unofficial mantra, which is also 3 letters. A lot of 3. Okay, it's FUD. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There's a joke for a long time among that in the industry. For 20 years, I've been in the security industry 20 years. I'm older than I look. But security vendors are always trying to sell using fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And security vendors say, no, we should not be selling by fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But the problem in this world today is that there is not enough fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Why do we have phishing? Why do we have ransomware? Because somebody went to click. I told you, don't go and click the link. Don't go and forget to update. But these are the things that, all the processes, and so we need more fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the right way. And I don't have a photograph here, but in a very small words to remind me, among our young people today, those of us who are teenagers and millennials, their mantra is none of these things. It's, you know, that's wheel, the processing logo, or how much signal you have, or how much battery do we have. Okay, I should have pictures there, but again. So we need to put this in perspective. Availability, processes, people, things like that. Why do we have governance? Why do we have ISO 27000? Because, you know, why do we even have the CSA, Cybersecurity Agency? Because bottom line is government bank table. Why government bank table? Because for 20 years, nobody listened. Okay? And they were doing a wonderful job. So, you know, Mr. Yam and CSA, I really applaud your efforts, and DCE Kung too. So here's the problem. DCE Kung's job is the new digital evangelist for IMDA. He's telling you all the wonderful things you can do. And then CSA has to keep running after him to make sure that we remain safe. So, phishing. Let's start with phishing. What can I say? What can I say? We talk until our mouth dry, somebody will still go and click. And the hackers are getting better. They get better. It's more realistic. Okay, especially they know Singaporeans. You know, this whole thing is about social engineering. Singaporeans, they like everything free. Free is good. So they tell you free, you go and click. Kena. Free Korean movies, they're for the ladies. Free EPL, bypass Singtel, take VPN, are you sure or not, for the men. Men also a bit, again, like free, okay? It gets more. There's more phishing, more types of phishing. It used to be from your mother. Now it's from your boss, or you're from your boss. It used to be from the PAP, from FedEx. You don't even have a FedEx account. Or Deutsche Bank. You don't even have a Deutsche Bank account. For example, it gets better. They can actually target. It's like your mother. When was the last time your mother sent you an email? No, but because of your mother, you never go and check your phone. Hey, Amma, look, pat the email, how? Do you verify? So again, we need vigilance, we need education, awareness, we need caution, we need to be skeptical, okay? We need the fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Here's an example, okay, a quick example. On SG50, 2 years ago, Istana invited me to attend the National Day reception. Wow. If you're able to, oh, this is very good. You know why? You yes also die, no also die. Because no, I'm not attending, I will click the pink box. Yes, I'm attending, I'll pick the green box. Knowing me, I phoned up the Istana. I went to find whether this officer, Miss Tan Yu Wei, is she a real person? Okay, I'm a cyber kepo, so I could do that. I phoned up the Istana. Did you actually invite me to attend the dinner? It turns out it was real. Anyway, okay, I said to them, I'm not clicking. I want to come and eat your dinner, but I'm not going to click. You please tell the president that. Okay, but anyway, so things like that. Are you sure? No, the trouble is SG50. No, so hackers will bang on euphoria. Then they'll go on other things. Okay, it used to be government. It used to be, your boss. But now they do other things. They know you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. This is another one that I got caught. This for real. I mean, I'm not Brad Pitt, but I got the same. Dear LinkedIn user, your messages are not delivered because your storage limit has surpassed. I actually went to my LinkedIn to click on the setting to see what storage are they talking about. Click halfway, I say, wow, then I realized that, no, this is not real, it's fake. But lucky I didn't click this one. So things like that, do we think about? So when we talk about phishing, it's not just about emails from people from the Istana or from FedEx or from LinkedIn. There are other things, like I said, times like SG50, they try to catch me. Then that time Pokemon, Zika, Haze, anything and everything. They play on emotions, they play on social engineering, they play on money. Okay, this is last year's slide. Peter Lim, his name was used. Oh, you want to make money like Peter Lim? Please click this. Recently, Peter Lim got it again. Now, they like to use him for, a few days ago in the papers, Peter Lim was complaining that he was being used to be a phishing, and I talk about free. And then Facebook also, there'll be messages from Facebook, this and that, please don't. I told my kids, I rather you don't click. Microsoft tell you must update, I rather you don't update. If it's for real, eventually you'll update. But for now, please don't update. iOS 11, another one, don't go there. Then, of course, GoSafe Online. No, that's a real site. Okay, GoSafe Online is a service by the Cybersecurity Agency for you to go and learn what all the things you should not do. Okay, so when you're free, today is Friday night, when you're bored, Saturday, go to GoSafe Online or Google GoSafe Online. There's a lot of wonderful materials in there to help keep our nation safe. The Prime Minister talks about, I don't know, somebody went to China and they say even the beggars, you want to give the beggar money, you peep the QR code. So now there's this euphoria about QR code. I'm not saying QR code is wrong, I'm not saying QR code is bad, but in the same spirit as phishing, people will fake a QR code, and when you pick, the PayNow, PayLah will go to their account. I don't have to talk too much about it. I'm not telling you don't. I will not click QR code, okay? And I entered into fights with some people about that before, but bottom line is, there's nothing wrong with QR code. Just be careful where the QR code come from and what are you clicking, okay? Because when you beep, it's too late. So again, don't get me wrong, just beware of the originator. The next one is ransomware. Okay, so we've talked a lot about, we've heard about WannaCry, WannaCrypt, PETA, whatever. I'm not going to talk about that. But what was the issue of ransomware? First, it was high visibility. How am I doing for time? High visibility. Because why? Suddenly, millions of computers in Europe kena overnight. There's a visual experience. Your screen is locked. It's enigmatic. You don't know what's going on. You can't access your work. There's frustration. There's loss of money involved. You need to pay. You don't even know how to pay. I want $300 in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is $5,000 today. How do I pay you $300 in Bitcoin? What am I going to do with the other $4,700? But never mind. What was the issue? The issue wasn't ransomware. The issue was that the Windows operating systems were unpatched. In unrelated case, Equifax in the US had millions of data loss, again due to unpatched system software. And typically one of the solutions for ransomware is that, forget it. reformat the hard disk. Don't pay the ransom. But if you don't have a backup, how do you reformat your hard disk and copy back all the data that you just lost? And I've had people who are companies, or big or small, they had these problems before. Okay, so, I shouldn't say this, but I've audited billion-dollar listed companies that don't have backup regime. They have backup. You put in your thumb drive, you put in the Google Drive, you back up to the company server, but there's no across-the-board policy for backup. So I tell the people, don't talk about hacker, don't talk about virus. You come to work in the morning, your PC spoiled. You power on, no need to work, die. Recently, I had one of my clients, lawyer, dealing a $1 million case, hard disk crash. She was close to tears. Law firm, no backup. Okay, you get the idea. So, why don't these things happen? It's no secret. Just people don't do it. Okay, very quickly, I'm out of time, but attack on supply chains. Bottom line is this: large organizations tend to have better cybersecurity. CSA, the real CSA, is doing a lot of work getting all the sectorial to be serious and vigilant and equipped and resourced with cybersecurity. Hackers know that. Big companies like banks and government have money, have resources, have skill, have equipment. They have the will, they have the requirement, they have the legislation. Listed companies also, SGX and MAS are now very strict on listed companies, requiring them to be, what they say, they still use the old word, your IT controls must be in order. So basically it means cybersecurity. So what hackers do, they can't get you, they'll get your supplier. They'll get the guy on the motorcycle delivering the food Uber to you. They'll get your subcontractor, they get your outsource. Because typically the outsourcers are smaller companies. They are less well endowed for security, they have less will, less interest, less governance, less practice, less skill set. Okay, I'll talk about none of. Let me very quickly make one thing clear, ladies and gentlemen. When you talk about SMB, SME, smaller companies, it doesn't mean they have no money, We always thought SMB is smaller, less money, budget. No. SMB, the boss can drive Rolls Royce, have a house with a swimming pool in Bukit Timah. SMB, one night go karaoke, open one motel, $4,000 like that will whack. Ask them to cybersecurity. So it's about the interest, about the will. And talk about supply chain. We heard about the Target story, or the Target CEO had to walk, all that kind of thing. The Target CEO had to resign. What happened? Hackers attacked the smart building part of the building, which was connected to the office part of the building, and stole the data from there. So hackers are attacking other places. And the problem was that nobody knew. Why? Because the contractor who installed the wiring for your smart building is a different contractor from the person who installed the office IT wiring or the network. So these are the things, right? The left hand doesn't know what the right leg was doing. So hacker is attacking the right leg in order to get to your left hand. Okay, so with that in mind, let me close up on number one. We need to be more aware. And it's not just us. How do we communicate to the board, the business leaders? We need to get their support. We need to tell them, don't anyhow click, otherwise the problem becomes ours. Okay, I'll make my presentation available to you all so that you can read this and in detail when you're bored. Okay, I just want to point out certain issues why we're here this morning. Okay, here's ISC Square, the CISSP people had a survey with Frost & Sullivan. And in fact, McAfee did the same survey and found the same answers. A lot of people are not following security procedure. A lot claim to audit procedure regularly. Audit, yes, no, yes, check box. That's the thing. So, now, people don't follow security procedure. Why? Not because they are bad. There are stories that say 70% of breaches come from internal. It's not that 70% of staff are bad. It's that people are working hard. I want to do my work. Don't come and lecture me. Wow, security. So they try to bypass with good intention, but they don't realize that there's a bigger problem they're creating in trying to solve the first problem. So end of the day, when the cows come home, security has two components. We all know this. One is the technology component, and the other one the human and resource component. We need education. We need enforcement, reinforcement. We know this. But we also need diligence and vigilance. We need ownership. We need to make it ours. It's not always somebody else's problem, okay? With that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you a good seminar, a good day, a good learning, a good Friday. Thank you.